Welcome to the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast with Michael LaFido, where top luxury agents reveal their best practices, plus interviews with real estate industry influencers, thought leaders, and luxury marketing experts. You'll come away from each episode with new strategies and tactics to dominate high-end homes in any market. And now for the latest episode of Luxury Listing Specialist. Here's your host, luxury real estate expert, coach, and trainer, Michael LaFido.
Welcome back to another episode of the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. You're in the right place. Even if you're driving, you're at the gym, you're listening to this episode, you're in the right place. If you're a team leader, you're a broker owner, you're an individual agent, whether you're with a large corporation, large franchise, so to speak, or an independent, there's going to be something for everybody. And this is episode, I believe we're in episode 190 here, which is amazing as we approach our 200th episode. We've had different experts on, from internationally to locally to strategic partners to agents that they're on the newer side. Recently, we had Ashley Tate on our podcast from Denver, and she had never sold anything above $500,000. So we talked about how she got that $7 million listing, to today's guest. But before I introduce today's guest, just a reminder, if you're getting value from this podcast or previous podcasts, please leave us if we've earned it, a 5-star review on iTunes or one of these other platforms that you listen to. Same thing with our book. If you're getting value from our book on Amazon, please, we could always use more 5-star reviews, only if we've earned that. Again, if you have if you have a question for me, send me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup. And don't forget, each Friday, we've launched a new series called Luxury Fridays. You can literally go to Luxury Fridays with an S at the end, luxuryfridays.com for more information. But we're doing live streams where we're bringing on guests, we're bringing on audience members like yourself, where you can AMA, ask me anything, whether it be real estate listing appointment related, whether it be buyer appointment related, best practices. Maybe it's a guest that we've had on in the past and you want to ask a question. And so again, that's luxuryfridays.com. No obligation, but we do those each week. And we have some amazing past episodes. Make sure you check those out on our YouTube channel by going to Marketing Luxury Group and hit the subscribe. All right, let's fast forward into today's episode. I'm really excited. I have a friend of mine on. I've had guests on in the past that I didn't know a whole lot, that they've come recommended. In this case, I know a lot about today's guest. I had seen him and he had seen me present at a Keller Williams conference years ago. But I have a friend of mine, Trey Scott, on right now, and I'll read a little bit from Trey's bio. Trey was the 2010 Rookie of the Year in his real estate board association way back in 2010. Man, oh man, I thought you were in this a little bit younger. You look younger than me. And 2010, I was thinking maybe even 2005, but that's pretty amazing. 2010, and he's been selling real estate. He's been coaching real estate agents, and he's got an amazing story, and he's got some amazing trials ahead, which we'll talk about today. But with that being said, I want to bring Trey Scott on. Trey, there?
Hey, thank you, Michael. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be on this podcast. It's amazing. I listen to it all the time, so I'm excited for this opportunity.
You're absolutely welcome. We're excited to have you on. And, you're working with a lot of different agents right now, but tell everybody, I gave a little background, but you got licensed in 2010, and tell everybody a little bit more about your backstory. And then I'll ask you a little bit about how you broke into luxury real estate.
Well, so I got licensed in 2010, and I actually had 2 full-time jobs. So when I got my license and was looking for a company to hang my license, everybody was telling me no. All the top companies were saying, no, you will not be successful with 2 jobs. There's no way that you can get going and run a business and have 2 jobs on the side. And so I had an opportunity from a leader from Keller Williams in the Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C. area, reach out to me. She says, hey, come in, let me hear, your story, what you want to do. And I'll tell you that first day when I walked through the door, I was all suited up, nice, tie on. I had a marketing plan, a business plan. I had my logo of my team, and I said, I'm going to be the number one agent in your market center in a year. And I sat it all down in front of her, and she says, I'll sign you up. And that's when I got the opportunity to start my business in real estate. um, and after that, like
Well,
you said,
let's step back for that in itself right there, Trey, because
mhm,
I mean, you were prepared. You did a little due diligence. You
mhm,
dressed the part. You looked the part. You
mhm,
look professional, right?
mhm.
Fake it till you make it a little bit. But on the same
Yep,
token, if you're going to err on the overdressed side, and you
yep.
did that, and you've always been well dressed since I've known you. So so what went into your mindset just there? Like you knew you'd been rejected before, right? So you're like,
Oh,
man,
yeah. That was my motivation. I walked through that door and I made it known that you cannot tell me no. You cannot tell me I'm going to fail because that's just going to fuel me to show everybody what I can do. And that's basically what I did. So in those 3 months from when I started September until December 2010, not only did I sell almost in that last quarter, almost 4 million in properties with 2 jobs, I became rookie of the year of the whole board state out of all the agents that's been there a full year with 2 jobs.
wow,
I had a
that's
I had
awesome.
a point to prove.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like my sign back there, prove them wrong, right? You wanted to prove those
Exactly.
naysayers wrong.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And taking yourself back those 12 years ago, how did you do that 4 million in volume that last quarter, that last few months of the year? Looking back, do you recall, was it lead gen, prospecting, working your
Mhm.
database, working other people's open houses, all the above?
Well, I think what it was I had a lot of database and clientele from those 2 jobs. So I was already in front of people. Now I was just changing the conversation to let them know I'm also doing this business and starting my own real estate business. So I had relationships. It was just now I was changing the conversation and letting them know what else I can do to serve them. And they
Okay.
already liked me. They already liked the way I did business. So it transformed into there. My first property in that 3 months was an $830,000 property in a gated community, golf course
Wow.
community. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Most people, even today, won't ever sell an $830,000 home. So that's amazing, Trey. Great job on that. So let's fast forward. That was rookie of the year, 2010. Let's
Hmm.
fast forward a little bit and talk about breaking into luxury. How much further, how many years, months after the fact did you break into luxury, and what did that look like for you?
So in the first year, I was able to place those 2 jobs and step away and go into real estate full time with a intentional focus. I wanted to go into luxury because to me, I was the image of what I thought was luxury. I presented myself that way. I wanted to sell the experience and the lifestyle and not just the luxury property. And I understand that vision of where we would evolve into what luxury is today, which is experience and lifestyle, not just luxury properties. And so I was already there that was back in 2012 when I saw that vision of where we are today in luxury.
That's great. And so you're right now you are doing some stuff internationally. So talk to
Mhm,
me about where you're at, because when you talk real estate, especially in these larger cities where you have a lot of international buyers, you
mhm.
might have some foreign money coming in, buying properties, building relationships internationally. Talk to us a little bit about international real estate and what you're doing with that right now.
Well, part of the vision was always being international. So it was connecting with all the agents that are international in other countries that's doing luxury. I also connected with everyone throughout the United States because I knew they had connections internationally, just like yourself, Michael, when I tracked you down at that
Mhm.
conference and I introduced myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I started building up that network. And as I started coaching agents in luxuries to show them how to break into luxury, that's where I was able to go international and start coaching people in those luxury markets. And one of my main ones right now is London and United Kingdom. And so I actually coach agents. I actually am the investor, regional investor for United Kingdom for Keller Williams. And that gave me the opportunity to really break in and learn the market, learn the luxury business, and see how we can make the agent successful there as I'm coaching them.
And what are some things that you're helping agents be successful in London with building their business and specifically, breaking into those luxury
Mhm.
price points?
Well, just like I did for myself, I have a marketing background. So for me, I feel like we're the marketing luxury experts in the real estate industry. And so for me, showcasing the property, showcasing the area, and then giving the lifestyle and that experience, that concierge experience was everything in my business. For example, I was doing lifestyle videos for my properties. They look like music videos, back in 2015 when people thought it was weird and told me, oh, that's different. And now you're seeing it more and more now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always created that, I had open houses and I would have car dealerships donate the luxury cars, or I would have affiliate connections to where, Michael, if you were my client, just because you use my service, you can go and get a discount at a Mercedes dealership, or you can go down to the local jewelry and get a discount on a Rolex, or trips and stuff like that. It was part of my all-in-one concierge service for that experience.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So yeah, that's one of the things we teach agents is, you're not just selling the house and the brick and mortar, right? It's relationships that you're selling an experience and the lifestyle. You talk about 2015. It's funny, 2014, in August of 2014, Trey, is when we did our first really lifestyle video. We brought in a car transport
Mhm.
with 4 cars. We had 2 film crews.
Mhm.
Crane Chicago Business did a big old article, well, a $10,000 video with
Mhm.
horses and Lamborghinis get this $5 million home sold, $4.5 million home sold. And it was cutting edge at the time. And still to today, 95% of agents in this market still aren't doing that.
Mhm.
And so it's all about raising the bar, right? Raising the bar,
Mhm.
taking a little bit further. So you brought up some really good points there. What are you saying um, when you're talking international, when you're talking um, in Europe? Is the bar higher from a seller expectation for these type of
Mhm.
properties, or in your experience compared to what you're seeing, is it easier to stand out in those markets?
Well, there's a lot of luxury properties. I think that it's kind of both because there you're going up against the huge estate agency companies that hires their agents. So they have all the money, they have everything to promote and market these properties, and their name, their word of mouth name is what gets them the business over independent agents that we're going up against. So for the independent agents in luxury, we definitely have to put our service level higher to showcase that why we are different than these huge companies. And that is not just marketing, that is just service level. That's responsiveness, that's exclusivity, that's care. I mean, that's why I say that concierge service around that property and that client is
Mhm.
very important in the Europe market. And that
Mhm.
makes a big difference. And that's kind of what I coach, to the other agents about. It's not just putting pictures in a video and hoping someone will come and buy the property. It's now providing that higher level service, that exclusive service.
And what do you see is the biggest obstacle for some of the agents that you coach?
I think the biggest obstacle to me is confidence. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. You probably hear everybody says, I want to break into luxury, you know. And to me, it's just being intentional and target and make sure you have that marketing plan, make sure you have that service level and go all into it. And after a while, being consistent, you will get the business.
Mhm.
But I think the mindset of people saying, I'm breaking in or starting, or I wish I could do luxury, and Michael, you've been doing it for years. It's kind of like, it's like this to you now
Mhm.
because they're all the same clients.
Mhm.
They're high net worth individuals, but they're still clients, just
Right.
at a different price range.
Right.
So a lot of times what people do for a $800,000 property, they can take that level and do that for $1 million, $2 million property. It's about what is your intention? What is your purpose? What is your service level in luxury?
Yeah, I mean, that confidence is really important. And you mentioned that. I completely agree. One of the things I tell agents all the time is grow your knowledge and your confidence will grow. When you're more confident, you'll be more likely to step out of your comfort zone or do some prospecting or some lead generation or go after some of those price points that maybe internally you're telling yourself you have no business going after, but the reality is you can't.
Hi, it's Michael LaFido here with a quick break from the podcast. If you are committed to increasing your average sale price and you want to work smarter, not harder, then you want to check out luxurylistingspecials.com, where you'll find out more information about the Lux designation along with some additional resources. Again, I'll repeat, check out luxurylistingspecials.com. And now let's get back to the show.
Correct. And I think the biggest fear is when the agents that to them, they're not making that much money. They're not a high net worth individual and they're approached or they're trying to talk to one. They feel like it's two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And they lack that confidence, like you said, the knowledge to even have that conversation, to feel like they can deserve that listing or to deserve working with someone that's a high net individual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, great point. Great point. For those of you just tuning in, Michael LaFido here. We have Trey Scott, and Trey's doing some amazing things, coaching some agents up. He shared how he broke into luxury. We recently had our fourth luxury designation training here in the Chicagoland market. We've had them this year in Denver and San Antonio and Miami Association of Realtors in Chicago. And if you guys are interested to see where we're presenting or perhaps interested in hosting one of our trainings, shoot me a note, Michael at Marketing Luxury Group, Michael at Marketing Luxury Group. Don't forget, with our designation, we do offer a self-paced designation where you get a username and password. Just go to luxurylistingspecialist.com for more information there, Luxury Listing Specialist. And don't forget about our free weekly trainings. Go to luxuryfridays.com, luxuryfridays.com. Now, Trey, talking about trials and tribulations, I've been doing a lot of travel lately, and there's turbulence on some airplanes, right? And during the turbulence, and maybe some people like flying or they don't like the actual commute, but they love the destination, right? They love the spring break, but they hate to travel to get there. There's a lot of trials and tribulations through real estate and life. You're going through some things right now health-wise, and one of my pledges I told you was I want to provide some additional exposure to help raise awareness. So hopefully for anybody that believes in the power of prayer and for anybody that's got it on their heart that maybe wants to make some donations to your GoFundMe, tell everybody a little bit about what's going on in your life right now.
Yes, I appreciate this. So I recently in December had COVID. And then I continue to have underlying infection that when I traveled to London this past in February, I was still very sick with a respiratory infection. And that actually got me hospitalized in London where, they had to do breathing treatment. I thought it was my asthma and they took a chest x-ray. And later when I got back to the States, they looked at the chest x-ray, saw that my heart was enlarged. And from there, I did a follow-up because they wanted me to come back after I was better from the infection, and did a follow-up, and they saw that there was some, irregular, type of things happening with my EKG. They checked my heart, and so they rushed me in an ER ambulance to a Heart Institute hospital where I was hospitalized. They did testing and found out that I had coronary heart disease, congested heart failure. My heart's working about 20% functioning right now. And of course, I still have the enlarged heart. And that was hit all at once with me just sitting there in bed thinking I can get up and walk out the next day. And they're basically saying that you're in heart failure.
So, obviously there's a lot of unexpected things that go through your mind, right? Like family and legacy and length of life and how the hell am I going to beat this? And I'm going to beat it. And and all these things got to be going on through your mind all of a sudden because you were thrown with a curveball. Talk to me about that.
Well, I think it was a disbelief first because, I've always worked out. I was always healthy, eating good, and so I think, they told me that because I was so healthy and fit, I didn't see the serious symptoms of it. So, it just shocked me that what I could see that I thought was healthy, what I couldn't see was the part that was affecting me, what was inside. And so there was some disbelief at first, and then I just had to accept that this is the plan. This is what I have to face right now. And then I realized, wow, I got to save my life because you know the truth is I didn't have health insurance. I don't have health insurance, and financially, something like an open heart surgery is what they're telling me I have to have, and treatments and procedures. And this is like over, I mean, $200,000. This is as much as a house that I'm faced with financially. And so it's to the point where I have to save my life now, and I have to be serious about the treatment, serious about the medicine, because to be honest, I don't think I would have made it past this year, Michael, if I didn't find this out about my heart. I would have
Mm,
had a heart attack anytime.
mm, mm. Well, I appreciate your transparency, and I can only imagine, Trey. So thank you for sharing that. So, uh, one of the things I said to you is, I want to help raise awareness and some funds. So I've agreed that you have a GoFundMe, which we'll share during the email blast, and it's not really easy to verbalize where people can write this down. But if you want to share it, you certainly can. But I can pull this up too from your note. But more importantly, on the GoFundMe, um, what I told Trey is anybody that uh, make some kind of note, Lux or luxury training or luxury designation or Michael LaFido with your little note and hey, heard about you through the podcast or Michael LaFido. Um, I'm going to enter those folks into a raffle. And that's something that, we're going to be giving away some prizes. He's GoFundMe, gofund.me /F as in Frank 3078 ADB. And that's gofund.me /F as in Frank 3078 A as in Apple, D as in David, B as in Bright. And that's the direct GoFundMe for Trey. And so what we'll do is anybody that makes some kind of donation, you guys will enter into a raffle to win a free coaching session with me, along with some other prizes we'll figure out. And that's something, Trey, that I want to do for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And what else am I missing here?
Well, I wanted to share something. One thing is, you mentioned legacy a little bit. And, before I always thought legacy was about, financially what you leave behind. But I realized recently that legacy from just the overwhelming of people's thoughts and prayers and donations and people reaching out from all over the world. I mean, I didn't realize that I've impacted or have done so much in people's lives until I was faced with this and everybody came out to support me. And I think the legacy part is even in your business that you're growing, if it's luxury, whatever it is, it's are you contributing to people's lives? Are you giving back? Are you impacting? Is this instead of it just being about sales and money, it should be about the lives you touch, the families that you service, no matter what the price, is, what would they say about you? What would they say, if something happens to you or you're faced with something, how would they support you? And that's the legacy to me is just like you do, Michael. You're reaching out, you're educating people, you're giving people opportunity to be successful in their business. And that's the thing is it's all about, who we change the lives and what's the contribution that we give during our life. And so going through this, it's just so profound to me to think about that I'm happy that I was able to build a business, to coach, to network with people, to be around people. And now I can see what I've done in people's lives because of this.
No, Trey, I mean, can you see my screen, Trey? I showed.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I literally have this image on the base of my computer. And I know those of you watching or listening at home don't have, but I know it kind of sounds morbid, but it's a headstone, and it's got your name and birthday and day you pass, and then it's got number of lives affected question mark. And so, people ask me, this is episode 190 of our podcast, and we do Luxury Fridays, and we're doing all these trainings. And, Mike, if you just focus on home selling, could your business do better? And absolutely. But the thousands of lives were affected through our podcast, and, through that, I want to met Trey, and, we wouldn't be here today helping Trey out. And so, I'm a believer in Jesus, and I believe that God wants me to affect as many people as I can in a positive way. And so, Trey, you bring up a great point. And it just, while you were talking about it, I'm like, man, I got to pull this up, because this is something that literally I'm looking at my desk in front of me. And it's you're absolutely right. And that's why I tell people, the media wants to divide. They want to label. It's like, hey, it's amazing how much we have in common if we just turn off the news and we talk to our neighbor and we try to figure out how we can make this world a better place. And so, that's really, this podcast is not just about how Trey broke into luxury, how Trey's coaching other agents in luxury and working on their confidence and their mindset. That's great. But, we want this episode and other episodes to be much deeper than just, helping you make more money. And so, Trey, I just wanted to thank you again for your transparency. And I appreciate you reaching out. And, we're going to keep praying for you. And we're going to keep raising the awareness on our Luxury Fridays. And again, if there's anything that we can continue to do, Trey, we'll put your GoFundMe link on our Luxury Fridays. If you guys go to luxuryfridays.com, we'll add that there, along with,
and you can add my contact as well, because if anybody has any questions, additional questions about luxury or anything, that's my purpose. I help. I love contributing to others, and I would love to help others, help them grow their business, and definitely get the Lux designation, because that's the way that will lead you to building the business you want.
Well, I appreciate that, Trey. And you keep raising the bar, and you keep staying positive. And, I'm a big believer in mindset, and I know you are as well. So you're going to, we all kind of go through a little, I'm sure a little bit, all right, why me? But then it's like, all right, let's put on our shoes, let's put our cap on, and we're going to beat this thing. So that's what champions do, right? And so I appreciate what you're going through. I appreciate you. And I just want to thank you again for being on our show.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. And Trey, what's the best way for somebody to get a hold of you? For those of you that are listening, you want to shoot Trey a note of encouragement, you want to shoot him an email. What's the best way for them to get a hold of Trey Scott?
My email is Trey Scott, TREYSCOTT @kw.com. And if you want to also send me a message, text message, phone number is 952-454-0934.
Trey, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
I appreciate it. Again, guys, you're listening to another episode of the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. Again, if you have somebody you'd like to nominate for a future podcast, shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup. Or if you are doing something different, unique, you have a success story, you have a question, jump on our Luxury Fridays. When you go on to luxuryfridays.com, the top link should be the most recent, the most upcoming Luxury Fridays, and that will take you over to our YouTube channel. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Keep raising the bar for your neighborhood, for your street, for your town, for your church, for your brokerage. Keep raising the bar, guys. And like Trey likes to say, and I like to say, prove others wrong. Until next time, I'm your host, Michael LaFido. and I appreciate everybody. Make it a great day. You're listening to Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. And go prove others wrong. Take care.